The whispering light of Blackrock. The sea, a hungry, churning beast, always gnaws at the coastline here. But it's not the waves that draw people to Blackrock Lighthouse. It's the whispers. They say the light itself speaks, a mournful, echoing sound carried on the salty gale. Liam adjusted his headlamp, its beam cutting a stark path through the twilight mist. Beside him, Maya shivered, pulling her jacket tighter. "You sure about this, Liam? It's desolate." "That's the appeal," he grinned, though a nervous tremor in his voice betrayed him. "Urban exploration, Maya. Plus, everyone talks about the legend of Keeper Silas Thorne, vanished without a trace back in, quote, 38. His final log entry was supposedly insane. Blackrock Lighthouse stood like a skeletal finger against the bruised sky, its whitewash long since flaked away to reveal the rough-hewn stone beneath. The air, heavy with salt and decay, tasted ancient. Rust wept from the iron door, its hinges screaming in protest as Liam forced it open. Inside, the cold was a living thing, damp and pervasive. The silence pressed in, broken only by the distant rhythmic crash of waves against the rocks below. Our headlamps danced over crumbling plaster, forgotten tools, and dust motes suspended like tiny galaxies. The air grew heavier with each step we took into the tower's heart. "There!" Maya pointed to a small, oak desk, surprisingly intact, in a tiny alcove. On it lay a leather-bound logbook, its pages yellowed and brittle. Liam carefully opened it. The early entries were mundane: weather observations, supply requests, ship sightings. Then, a shift. The handwriting grew erratic, the ink smeared. Storm like no other, the light struggles, something pulling at it from the darkness below. "Okay, this is getting interesting," Liam murmured, flipping a page. Maya was already heading for the winding, cast-iron staircase that spiraled upwards into the tower's dizzying height. "Come on, let's see the top." Each step on the iron stairs groaned underfoot, echoing through the cavernous shaft. The air grew denser, colder, and a faint metallic tang pricked at the back of our throats. I swore I could hear faint whispers, just at the edge of hearing, like muted conversation carried on a distant wind. Maya clutched my arm, her eyes wide. "Did you hear that? Like, someone breathing?" Liam paused, listening intently. "Just the wind, probably, whistling through a crack." But even he looked less sure now. The beam from his headlamp flickered, momentarily plunging us into deeper shadow. When it returned, a chill snaked up my spine. We pressed on, climbing higher and higher, the silence punctuated only by our own ragged breaths and the protesting creaks of the old lighthouse. Finally, we reached the lantern room. It was a circular chamber, encased in salt-stained glass panels, offering a panoramic view of the raging sea. The massive Fresnel lens, surprisingly intact, sat at its center, coated in decades of dust. No flickering bulb, just a cold, dead eye. Liam shone his light onto the wall beside the entrance. More scribbled entries, frantic and desperate, clawed into the plaster itself. "It wants the light extinguished. It wants the darkness to consume. I hear it. It's inside the light. It's here." A sudden, profound shift in the atmosphere made the hairs on our arms stand on end. The air thickened, pressing in, stealing the oxygen from our lungs. The faint whispers intensified, no longer distant, but right beside our ears. A jumble of indistinct, guttural sound that sent a primal fear through me. It wasn't human. The temperature plummeted, and a raw, palpable dread filled the small room. Then, the lantern itself seemed to stir. Not physically, but something within its dusty depths shifted. A faint, deep hum vibrated through the floor beneath our feet, a sound that seemed to emanate from nowhere and everywhere at once. Our headlamps flickered again, this time almost going out, plunging us into near total darkness. For a horrifying second, I could feel something breathing on my neck, a cold, stale breath, accompanied by a faint, desperate scratching sound from within the very heart of the enormous lens. "Get out!" Maya screamed, a raw, terrified sound. We didn't hesitate. Scrambling, tripping, we flew down the spiral stairs, the whispers seeming to chase us, echoing, multiplying, growing louder with every frantic step. The oppressive wake followed, pressing down until we burst back out into the blessed, damp night air. The wind whipped around us, cold but clean, washing away the foul stench of decay and dread. We didn't speak as we stumbled back to the car, our hearts hammering against our ribs. Liam, the staunch skeptic, was pale, his eyes wide and vacant. He started the car without a word, and we drove away, leaving Black Rock Lighthouse to its lonely vigil. We never saw a ghost, not in the traditional sense, but we felt it. We felt the thing that had driven Keeper Thorne mad, the unseen presence that still clung to that desolate place, forever whispering, forever trying to extinguish the light within those who dared to listen.